Democratic nervous Nellies are on the prowl. Let's talk about Syria. And Pierre Delecto? Ladies and gentlemen, what the I'm Jamal Simmons. This is why you should care. It must be election time because the nervous Nellies of the Democratic establishment are looking for a knight draped in donor class acceptability to take up the fight against Donald Trump. Jonathan Martin over at the New York Times wrote this story, and it details lots of the chatter I've been hearing about for weeks. As Joe Biden looks increasingly shaky on the debate stage, donors and strategists worry if there's a candidate with a shot who moderate voters might accept. The New York Times story lists an array of Democrats being talked about: Hillary Clinton, Eric Holder, Deval Patrick, Senator Sherrod Brown, and former Secretary of State John Kerry, who was the victim of this hand-wringing himself back in 2004 when the Democratic establishment was nervous Howard Dean might win the nomination. That's when Wesley Clark ran, my old boss, and well, let's just say it didn't work out very well. However, Democratic voters seem to like Elizabeth Warren a lot. There's a late surge for Mayor Pete Buttigieg, too. Bernie Sanders has a devoted following, and Andrew Yang is increasingly a crowd pleaser. Even Amy Klobuchar is having another big moment after a great debate performance. Democrats had about 24 candidates to choose from, and voters are making their choices. The Wall Street bankers and K Street lawyers are going to have to live with it. Here's why you should care. Many of the people wringing their hands now worked on a campaign that people worried about before. Democrats worried Bill Clinton's personal life scandals would doom him against George H.W. Bush. They worried that running an inexperienced black guy against the war hero John McCain would doom the party's chances in 2008. Maybe, just maybe, the party poobah should trust the process. Voters tend to know what they want, and it doesn't seem like an establishment favorite, is it? The U.S. brokered ceasefire between Turkey and Kurdish forces in Syria is coming to its 5-day deadline, and it remains to be seen if an extension will be granted. While Turkish forces are holding off, Kurdish fighters are still occupying Syria's northeast region, a point that Turkish President Erdogan highlighted and could ultimately prevent a continuation of the ceasefire. On Monday, President Trump said that pause could be extended, but Erdogan made it clear that might not be the case. If the promises given to us by America are not kept, he said, we will continue our operation from where it left off, and this time with a much bigger determination. It seems like the Turkish government isn't holding their breath on the U.S.'s deal. Erdogan met with President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, on Tuesday. The Kremlin spokesperson didn't give details, but said the matter could be discussed, which makes sense, given Russia not only supports Bashar al-Assad's government, but also has troops stationed in the country. Turkey wants the Kurds gone. Assad wants Turkey's troops gone. And with Russia's backing, Syria's president might get what he wants. And with the U.S. gone, Russia will likely get what it wants too. Here's why you should care. As the clock ticks closer to the 10 p.m. cutoff, it remains to be seen what will unfold next. But with U.S. troops redirected to Iraq and with Russia filling the gap, it seems like the United States has been sidelined altogether. American politicians and members of the defense and intelligence community are worried the U.S. absence could create a vacuum for ISIS to come back again and leave room for Russia to gain more power in the region. As of late Tuesday morning, we're still waiting to find out what Erdogan and Putin decide, as that might matter most now that U.S. troops have left their position. Okay, this is strange. Pierre Delecto. No, that's not the name of the new Bond villain. That's the secret Twitter persona of former Republican presidential candidate and Utah Senator Mitt Romney, of all people. It's the best self-given nickname since Anthony Weiner called himself Carlos Danger. I wish the fair usage laws let me use John Oliver's clip from The Daily Show, but they won't. Anyway, after admitting to having a secret Twitter account and a profile published by The Atlantic, Slate magazine began sleuthing around and they found Pierre's account. The account sounded a lot like what Romney describes to The Atlantic, and it tweeted numerous times at some of Romney's detractors and in protest of some of President Trump's decisions, like his recent decision to pull U.S. troops out of Syria. While the real Mitt Romney has publicly condemned the decision, his Twitter alter ego expressed views about the Senate's powerlessness to stop Trump. In a response to a tweet, Pierre wrote, "Agree on Trump's awful decision, but what could the Senate do to stop it?" The Atlantic followed up with Mitt to confirm if this was indeed the secret social media profile in question, and Romney apparently told the publication, "C'est moi." I assume I got that right. I don't speak French. While we could go on about the mysterious secret Twitter persona, Mitt, let's talk about this name. Come on, bro. Pierre Delecto? Where did you get that one from? Why you should care about all this? Why are Republican senators going to Twitter for anonymous reaction to Trump? They're United States senators. Leave the tweeting to powerless people like me. You can have hearings, you can vote, you can actually have power. But maybe they're more worried about their own elected futures than the judgment of history. Either way, Pierre Delecto, we need you to vote, bro, not tweet. Thanks for watching Hill TV on YouTube. Be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we post new videos. And head to thehill.com for all the latest political news.